Hello everybody, welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. It's a very windy day today. I'm coming at you with an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about Alone Season 2 episode number 5. Folks, so if you haven't seen that episode yet, please turn this video off. It will contain a lot of spoilers and I don't want to ruin your experience of the show, this amazing show called Alone. So let's start with day 10. Okay, day 10, there's 7 people left. It's 2:42 in the afternoon. The show starts with Justin. Justin, it shows him, you know, he made a rope swing and he's swinging around. I thought that was Larry in one of my previous episodes. I just caught a glimpse of it. Thought it was Larry, but it wasn't Larry, it was Justin. And he was talking about, you know, making a rope swing and how it makes him happy. And I thought that was pretty cool because he had something that kept him entertained, something that kept him happy, something that broke up the monotony of being in the survival situation. I thought that was really cool. Now let's talk about David. He didn't do very well. He was talking about this, about his net. Wasn't performing for him. He was eating a lot of limpets and seaweed. Now let's not forget, folks, this is day 10. So starvation, I mean, he's got real hunger right now. Then he started kind of talking about money. And let me make this clear to everybody watching. The amount of money that the winner will win for the last man standing, so to speak, of this show, they win $500,000. Okay? $500,000, folks. That is a lot of money. That is a life-changing amount of money. So I don't blame him for talking about it. But I will say one thing, and I'm not trying to knock him, but there's one small thing that I noticed that brought a little bit of concern to me. And that is, a lot of people focus on the destination. Meaning, in my opinion, I got this small glimpse that I feel like David might be looking at the money as the destination. And in my humble opinion, I think being out there on the show should be his destination. The journey itself, you know, should be the destination. I'm not knocking him. If I was out there, I'd be having my eye on the prize too, 100%. So, he talked a little bit about his kids and how he doesn't like saying no to them for things because they don't have a lot of money. And I don't know what his financial situation is. I'm just saying what I saw on the show. And how he would have liked to have been able to be in a better financial position so he could tell his children yes to more things. And I think any parent feels that way. I know I certainly feel that way. There's times that I don't have the money and I wish I did, and I have to tell my daughter no, and it is what it is. I noticed his shelter. It was a really nice shelter that he had too. So now let's move forward to Nicole. She was talking about when she saw the bears earlier. I'm going to tell you guys one thing right here, right now. Nicole knows what she's doing. Okay, I think the video producers of the show, I think they create like some of these scenes to create drama, to make people question these participants. They're all survival experts on this show. I think Nicole handled this situation very well. She was talking about she was hoping that the bears would stay on their side of the river. I don't blame her. I would have said the same thing. Now let's move forward. We're on day 11 now. Still talking about Nicole. She was talking about, it's the morning, right? Day 11. She was talking about how she got a good night's sleep. And I think that's really, really cool. A good night's sleep is very, very, very important, especially in a survival situation. And the fact that she got a good night's sleep, to me, just me personally, it tells me that she's comfortable. She's in her element. That's a big thing. Nicole is starting to show a lot of promise for me in this episode. She went and checked her gill net. She doesn't want to scare the bears. And she caught a huge fish. Big. Like 2 feet. Huge. She was going to kill it with a rock, you know, because it was flapping around and she was afraid probably that she might lose it. So she got a rock and tried to bash it in the head. That was smart. I would have done that too. She was right there at the moment, and she wanted to take care of it right then, and she got a rock, and that failed, so she had to go get her knife. She came up right behind right on the back of the neck right there, severed the spinal column, which killed the fish instantly. One more thing that I wanted to make note of on this episode with Nicole, she is very alert to the bears and the awareness of where they are, man. So the whole time she's messing with this fish, she's not in a bubble. I mean, she knows where she's at, and she's very alert to the bears. You know, I was really happy for her because she got this big old fish, big huge blessing, gift from God. I was excited, you know. What a blessing this is. So again, she used the knife to cut the head, very quick kill. And it was smart the way she cooked the fish. She like cut it around the spine and then had 2 fillets, and then she cooked the spinal column portion too. So she smoked some of it with cedar, and then she cooked some and ate it. Another thing I want to note is I was checking out her shelter too. Awesome shelter, Nicole. That was really cool. So she's smart. You know, she used a piece of wood as a board to put the meat on so that she could remove that board later so that the scent would not exist in her camp. Very smart, very good thing to keep the bears away. So that's a little bit more about Nicole. What a blessing, right? So now let's move forward. We're on day 12. Still 7 people left. Going back to Justin. Day 12. He's talking about priorities of working out. He built a gym so that he could get his workout. He had a pull-up bar, and he's found some big old, like, looked like an anchor chain or something. And that's where I got some concern. I don't know Justin. I don't know anything about him. All I know is I see this guy in a survival situation, and he's gonna do things that are gonna expend calories for his pleasure. And that's good that you're doing something cool that makes you feel good, but in my opinion, the delegation of calories could have been a little smarter. And I'm not out there again, so I'm just being an armchair quarterback here, but I felt like he could have kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, and got his workout in by doing something that might improve his situation, like maybe building a more solid shelter or something like that, where those calories that are being exerted through his physical exercise that he loves to do could have been channeled towards something that would have helped him. So in my personal opinion, my humble opinion, I don't think that was a very good idea to be out there doing pull-ups and, you know, doing this workout. Now, he did say, to his credit, he did say that he's not going to be out there burning all his calories. He is aware of the fact that it's a calorie game out there. And he was talking about his workout and comparing this survival situation to normal life. Now, there's a huge difference between being out there on Vancouver Island and his normal life. So in my opinion, you can't compare those 2 things to each other. Why? Calories. Normal life, you're eating ice cream and butter pecan and you know, eating a good meal every day. And out here on Vancouver Island, you're lucky if you can eat a mouse. So I personally don't think that that is a apple versus apple debate there. That's just my opinion. Now, I do agree with him though about the fact that he's doing something that he enjoys, and if that's what he gets that makes him feel good, more power to him. Again though, my opinion, I would have been probably looking to do something less calorie intense, like maybe stretching or maybe some yoga type stuff. That's still kind of a workout, but it's not a high energy, high calorie output kind of workout. That's just my opinion. He could have worked on flexibility or something. I don't know. That would have been me probably. I'd have been doing some yoga or something. So yeah, again, the calories at home are not the same calories that he's got out there. Let's move forward to David. It's around noon right now. He's watching the sea otters. My apology for this wind, folks. I hope it doesn't come across as a bunch of wind noise on the film. So David's watching some sea otters, and I thought that was cool. He made a funny comment that made me crack up. He said, I should catch those otters and teach them how to fish for me, how to bring the fish. I love this guy, it's funny. So he sees some fish swimming. I think he was like standing on a rock or standing somewhere, and he looked down and he could see these fish swimming around. So he decides to go fishing. And he was using sea snails for bait, and he caught a fish. And I was like, yes! I was watching the show. I was like celebrating for him. You know, so this is his first fish that he's caught in 2 weeks. First fish. The show says that it was called a rockfish. I don't know anything about that. And it was smart the way he cooked it. He made a fish stew. He gave blessing to the gift. You know, I thought that was cool. And now he has some new hope, some new resources emotionally, mentally to go forward on this challenge. And I thought that was cool. I was really happy to see him get some food. That's a big, big deal in this situation. Now, he made a comment, and I want to address this because you know, if David, if you're watching, I want to say this directly to you. And you probably already know this, but this is just from one father to another, man. You know, he made a comment where he said he's doing the best he can out there on this show because his objective is to make his children proud of him. All he wants is for them to just be proud of him. Dude, in my opinion, no matter what you do, I mean, you already showed up to the game, dude. Your kids are going to be proud of you no matter what you do. They love you. You're a good dad. No need to do anything extra. In my opinion, I think they love you. They're going to be right there with you, brother. Now let's move forward. Kids are going to be proud no matter what. Let's talk about Randy. He decided to build a new permanent structure. Kind of like a log cabin. So what he did was he took, I'm going to break off some little branches here. So he took 2 poles, right? Took 2 poles and he stuck them in the ground, and then he tied the tops together. But before that, he laid a bunch of logs down in between them. So he had this big pile of logs, and then he had another one over here, and then he tied them at the top, which made almost like a log cabin type wall. Made a really nice shelter. Really cool looking cabin. Nice shelter. He did burn a lot of calories to do it, but you know what? I think he's setting up for the long run. The only thing that's concerning me about him is the fact that he lost his ferro rod, and that bow drill fire is not going to be an easy fire to do when he's on day 45. Or when he's deprived of calories and things are getting thick. That fire is going to be an effort. It's going to be an issue, I think. And then I noticed his legs are huge. His thighs like a runner. You know, he's got these runner's legs. Big legs, dude. He probably runs, you know, and I think Matt Graham was like his hero, and Matt Graham's a runner, so maybe Randy's kind of like a runner too. Thought that was cool. I just noticed he had big, thick running legs, like runner's legs or something. Let's move forward to Nicole. As she talks about it's getting colder, she decided to make a door for her shelter. And she took a lot of, it looked like ferns or something, some kind of green material to insulate the shelter. Really cool shelter that she put together. And then there's a storm coming. You can kind of tell there's a storm coming. Let's move forward to day 13. We still have 7 people left. Talking about Justin again. He was talking about the wind. It was getting really windy. 40 to 50 mile an hour winds was his estimation. Looks like there's a storm coming. Now it's starting to rain, and it shows him trying to get back to his shelter. He was like getting rained on a little bit. I'm not sure about Justin. folks. I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't know. I'm starting to think that he might be the next one to tap. I don't know. Not trying to be mean. Let's go back to Nicole. She found a piece of metal roofing, like tin roofing. I saw that next to her shelter. Her shelter was holding up really well. They got lots of rain. She put on her raincoat to go check her gill net, and it was underwater. And it said on the show that it's not uncommon to get 1.5 feet of rain in a single rainstorm. That is crazy. That is a lot of rain. Here in Arizona, we don't even get anywhere near that amount of rain. That's a lot of rain for a single storm. 1.5 feet. That much rain in a single storm? My goodness. No wonder fires are so hard to put together out there. It makes me think about Randy again because everything's so moist. Let's go back to David. Water's very high. He lost his wooden board. You know, there was like I don't know, like a tree stump or something. And that's where he was cutting all his fish, and it got pulled out to sea. The tide came in and pulled it out. He was talking about that, and I thought, wow, that's crazy. He likes to use that as his kitchen, and it washed away. Let's move forward to Justin. funny little scene here. He was pretending that he was scared, you know. Camera turns on, he's like, he's got this funny look on his face. I love the guy. Acting like he was scared. Real funny guy. He was talking about the wind. And he was talking about he didn't have nothing to do, no chores to do. He was caught up on everything. He was talking about the food situation. He was a sniper, so he's used to being alone. The alone thing isn't going to bother him, because usually those snipers, from my understanding, it's just a spotter and a sniper, so they're always out there, you know, taking days and days to get, you know, maybe 100 yards or something. So I don't think that's going to bother Justin at all, the fact that he's out there alone. And he got a piece of bull kelp, seaweed, the type with the ball on the end, and he cut the ball off, and he, you know, it was like a pipe, and he made a urinal, for the lack of a better description, so that he could stay inside his shelter and urinate. Now, honestly, folks, I thought that was really cool, because now he doesn't have to go out of his shelter to get out in the elements, out in the rain. He can just stay in there where it's nice and warm and just bed down, and he can urinate. I thought that was very smart. Now we get to see Jose. He's afraid that he's going to lose his net. Things settled down a little bit, the weather. So he decides he's going to go out and get his net. And he's out there in the water. He found a salmon. So he got a salmon. And this has been his best meal since he's been on the show. His best meal, salmon. So I was happy for Jose. He got to eat. You know, this is a big thing. It's a calorie game, folks. Now let's move forward to day 14. Let's talk about Randy. Trap number 1, nothing. He talks about eating some slugs. I think he saw one. He was starting to talk about, I might need to start eating these. So then he goes to trap number 2, and he says, oh my God, look at that. And then it kind of cut to a commercial. I didn't really get to see much. It comes back, he caught a mouse. And that was his first meat that he's had in 14 days. Listen, 14 days, that's the first meat that Randy has had, and it's mouse. So he was talking about when he guts the mouse that he likes to leave the liver and the heart and the major organs in the mouse to consume them. And I thought that was very smart. Randy, he's smart. So he cooked the mouse directly on the coals. Not nothing uncommon there. I've done that before. He talks about finding a better way to catch fish. And then it shows him, it shows him eating the mouse. And he was chewing up the bones, and he even if I'm understanding this correctly, he even ate the teeth of the mouse. So he did not waste anything. I don't know what nutrients you're going to get out of the teeth of a mouse, but I don't think there's anything there. But it just, you know, he darn sure wasn't letting anything slip past him. He's going to get every bit of food that he can. So this was a great episode of Alone. Anyway, folks, I want to say thank you for watching the video today. Please feel free to leave comments down below on your thoughts. Give it a thumbs up. If you like the content that you see on my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And until next time, folks, have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's episode. I'll have another video coming out. And yeah, we'll talk at you later.